5 years and 2 hours ago, according to my clock, we officially left the European Union. It was the start of the transition period. A transition period of 11 months to allow us to dot the I's and cross the T's, for which we didn't. It was also there to allow us to plan, for which we didn't. And as such, it is an absolute disaster. Though some may disagree. They may say, oh, we got our sovereignty back. They say, sovereignty. Oh, excited, yeah. What sovereignty? We didn't get any sovereignty. Have you noticed? What sovereignty did we get back? Did we get to make the rules and the laws ourselves? No, actually, we're following them from other countries now, as well as the European Union. Oh, God. That's what happens when you have to sign more trade deals. You give a little bit of sovereignty away every time. Just how it works. You have to have something to barter, and it is your sovereignty. Well, how's it going for you? Are you excited about it? Are you still excited about it? Are you glad that we Brexited? You are? Oh, well, then you can get a lobotomy if you like, because quite frankly, it's an absolute disaster, and the majority of the people in the United Kingdom would like to, well, rejoin or join the European Union. If not join or rejoin the European Union, or join or rejoin the single market and the customs union. No, unfortunately, none of this stuff is going to be easy. And none of this stuff is going to happen overnight. Even if there has been suggestions of a pan-European Mediterranean model, if that was a possibility. But even that's that's quite weak as well. And the thing is, you see, let's say, for instance, we managed to tick all the, dot all the I's and cross the T's and tick all the boxes to join the European Union, like we did before. We got had to put everything in order regarding the Copenhagen criteria, for instance, and it was all looking tickety-boo. Yeah. Do you honestly think that any member in the European Union would say, "Yay, come on, welcome back aboard, come on, get on our ship," and all that? No, they won't. They'll look at the political situation in the United Kingdom and say, "Well, you're a bit unstable, aren't you?" In fact, that goes against the criteria for joining anyway. But they will say, "Yes, you look unstable. It ain't looking too good over there. It looks like there could be a reform leadership the next election." After all, they're beating Labour in the polls. It's rather scary. It's a possibility, you know. Don't rule it out. Never say never, because it could happen. That it could. Do you honestly think they want Nigel Farage anywhere near the European Union? Oh, no, they don't. They'll take one look at the situation in the UK and they'll say no. Once bitten, twice shy. That's what it is. Well, now when you consider how long we were a member of the European Union, of course it's going to take a very long time to leave it in full. Because we still haven't actually left in full. They might tell you we have. But we still are tied to certain, EU regimes, such as the CE mark. What happened to the UK CA mark? What happened to that? Well, went to long grass, didn't it? They're still sticking it on stuff, but it means nothing. Nothing. What good is a CA or UK CA mark when we've got no testing facilities? We've got nothing there to actually make this happen. Of course they're going to say, okay, we'll carry on with the CE mark, but we've still got no testing facilities to make this thing happen, even though it's a CE mark. You see, we can't send our stuff abroad. And the United States also recognises the CE mark. Not one thing been stamped by us. There's some products you can get away with because it's self-declaration, all right? Let's say, for instance, you've got a doll, all right, with eyeballs that don't fall out. Well, then you can pretty much do a self-declaration on that. But when you're talking about chemicals and all that sort of, products with chemicals in, you ain't just got the CA mark to worry about, you got the chemical database to worry about. What happened to the UK REACH? Huh? What happened to that? What happened to the fact that we're still having to abide by some rules of the EU REACH? It's the largest chemical database in the world. And we help make it. It's one of the reasons why we don't test in the EU on animals and stuff like that for cosmetics and that kind of stuff, because we've already done the testing. Unfortunately, in the United Kingdom, they had to restart all this testing. It's a mess. But, the powers to be don't want you to know that. They won't tell you that stuff. How often you've heard about the EU REACH and the so-called UK REACH? Probably only for me. I will be a bit surprised. Because it's absolutely ridiculous. We have given up on something that was quite powerful. It gave us the opportunity through trade deals with other countries to be able to trade with other countries on a level playing field. So now we've got to have level playing fields with all the countries. Negotiate separate deals, not just rollover deals, new deals. With all these rollover deals were just there as a temporary measure so we carry on trading. But now we've got to negotiate all these fresh deals, all come to an end. They don't last forever. They've got to roll over again. They're the worst possible deals you can have. A lot of those deals are actually written while we were members of the European Union, with the benefits of everything attached to them. Now we're bloody no mates using the same blinking trade deals, with the bits ripped out. That gave us the protections within the European Union. Power of numbers. But, people don't like numbers, do they? Not if you're a flippin' BREXITER numpty you quite frankly can't count. Morons! Sorry, I said it, but they are. I've got no respect for people who want to damage their own country. I've got no respect for people who want to hurt people. And that's exactly what they want to do. They want to hurt the other. They want to hurt those with brown faces. They want to hurt those with, any people. Or, race or creed. They want to hurt the LGBTQs and all that, Any minority groups, they want to hurt. Religions and different religions, they want to hurt them as well. Okay, I'm not a religious geezer, but I don't want to hurt them. They want to believe in that crap. It's up to them, innit? Nothing to do with me. Not interested. I believe in science. I believe in things that actually make sense. Not some mythical being floating around on a cloud up there. Hello. What things all about? Sorry if I offended you, but there you go. Don't feel crazy. So, no. But you see, the feelings about Brexit has changed. It's not the same as it was back in the day, even by those who voted for it, you see. 65% of the people 65 or 64% of the people in the United Kingdom want to rejoin or join the European Union. That's from a YouGov poll. Only 30% of people in the UK think, oh yeah, it's a great idea leaving the European Union, but that's because they're all brain dead or really old. What is it about old people wanting to go? I remember the good old days when my grandma was making nightgowns for all the ladies out of the old parachutes. For God's sake. When people were being killed, they were by bombs on their heads. There was such things as like good old days. It's a load of bollocks. They had rickets. Right? Like a vitamin D. There's a smog. The good old days. What? They're rubbish. They hadn't had it so good while we're in the EU. We were forced to be reckoned with while we were in that membership. Now we're dwindling. Our GDP is dwindling. Our growth is non-existent. I know you're going to start reciting, what about Germany's growth? Oh, Germany. Terrible. Got the growth. It's one country within the European Union, right? We've got growth here in France. Things are happening. The UK, though, is rather stagnant because of your Brexit. Now, among the younger cohorts who did not vote in the referendum because they're probably too young at the time, so 18 to 24-year-olds, 75% say it was the wrong decision to leave the European Union. It affects them. All of a sudden, their ability to travel, work, love and play in 27 other countries, let alone the whole of the free travel area. See, it's the old people who voted for this, and some young people did as well, but very few, voted to leave the European Union, literally took something away from their grandchildren. You should be ashamed. And those not all old people, obviously. But there again, farmers did, even though you say they didn't. Not all of them, but many of them did. Majority. And I find really embarrassing. I'm from Norfolk, I am. From the United Kingdom, from Norfolk. And there's that flat area. It looks like the arse. It looks like a witch. Oh, if you look at the United Kingdom, it looks like a witch riding a pig. And we're the arse of it in Norfolk. Do you know what? I understand it, though. Why quite a large proportion of Norfolk voted to leave. Quite a big majority, over 60%, voted to leave the European Union. I get it. They're all inbred. Got webbed feet. Luckily, I think I haven't got webbed feet, so I think I've skipped that one. And besides, I was a little bit near Norwich at the time. Yeah. Which didn't vote to leave the European Union. But North Norfolk, you know. Theresa Coffey's area and Liz Truss's area, she didn't vote to leave the European Union. She campaigned to remain in, and then she turncoated on it, didn't she? God's sake. Port markets. Well, this has seriously impacted businesses on both sides of the actual channel. Whether you're trying to export stuff from the United Kingdom to Europe, or vice versa, fishermen, fish fishermen, and wholesalers, they all struggled to be able to get their foodstuffs into the European Union. And shellfish fishermen, bivalve mollusk fishermen, such as mussels and whelks and all that sort of stuff, and oysters, could no longer get them into the European Union because they've got to be depurated. Basically, it's a colonic, it is, yeah. So like shoving a flipping carcher up the derriere of these little, mollusks and cleaning their guts out and stuff. But see, the thing is, when they've been depurated, they start dying because there's no food in them. They're starving to death. But yeah, you can't do that anymore. No. So they basically went out of business. They might have found new markets, but they're further afield, and a lot of the products had to be frozen now. So, which obviously, damages the market because it devalues the product. So they make less money. Now, there have been quite a few. Ian Perks, for instance, he was a campaigner for Brexit. He was also a fish merchant. Yeah, coming out shouting all the numbers out and stuff, and put tickets on top of boxes full of ice and fish. But he has decided that he would vote to rejoin or join the European Union now. He made a mistake. I respect the fact he's actually come clean. He's understood and he said, well, I've made a mistake. That's someone being honest, even though he's a right cock regarding, not cockle, cock, right, regarding leaving the European Union. In fact, he was one of the fanboys and one of the people used by Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage. And then you got the glass eel geezer. He's pretty much gone out of business. Good. Not just because of leaving the European Union. He had to find markets further afield in other countries, such as Japan and basically in Asia, to sell these glass eels. And now new protection laws in the United Kingdom prevent him from doing it. It's not even the European Union that's destroyed his business. Anyway. The bastard. Anyway, there you go. I said that. Yeah. Well, now there's other. It's not just UK fishermen who are struggling, or imports and exports. There's also those in the EU. Paola, it's an Italian seed supplier. He supplies seeds into the United Kingdom, and it's already cost them over 11 grand in tomato seeds that went off, but basically useless. Because the cost and import problems, because the UK doesn't obviously, just like the EU doesn't recognise phytosanitary in the UK unless it's authorised by the EU. The same goes in the other direction. If you are exporting from the EU into the UK, and he's lost a shitload of money, he has to reevaluate whether or not Paolo Arrigo, who's the owner of Seeds of Italy, he's having to reevaluate whether or not he can carry on doing business. So he welcomes some changes in the rules. But you know what it's like, don't you? Small businesses are pretty much brushed to one side, while people like Rachel Reeves are swallowing about trying to get trade deals in China that are worth that $5. So businesses are suffering on both sides of the water, more so for the United Kingdom. It's... Do I want to join or rejoin the European Union? Of course I bloody do. Do I think it's going to happen in my lifetime? No, I bloody don't. I just don't. There's no political incentive there for them to do it. They'll just get criticised hell by right-wing media, pushing that, going against the will of the people and all that crap. That's what you get. Never mind what's sensible or what is a practical thing to do. That doesn't mean anything to these people. They're so, it's tribalism, isn't it? It's tribalism, Dunning-Kruger effect, I suppose, as well. Form of cognitive dissonance. And they've gone so far down the rabbit hole, and it's so upset by Nigel Farage's bloody chocolate starfish. In fact, they're probably looking from the inside out. Oh, is that the light? Follow the light, Carrie-Anne. Follow the light. Anyway, what movie reference was that? So... It has been an absolute disaster for traders in and out of the European Union, for the UK exporting into the EU and vice versa. It has been an absolute disaster. Are we likely to rejoin anytime soon? I don't think so. Do I want to? Yes, I do. Obviously, because it would make a huge difference. We've crippled ourselves. Literally crippled ourselves. Now, I know what you're going to say, well, our GDP, we might not have that growth, but, it's still the same, isn't it? Yes, but the cost to get that GDP now is far more expensive. Far more expensive. The phytosanitary costs and stuff like that. See, these businesses having to pay a huge amount of money to be able to import and export their products. A huge amount of money. And it's not going to happen overnight, is it? It's just not. See, some of these businesses, like for instance, some fish market merchants, they've got additional costs of around 100, 200 grand just in red tape. And then they've got the additional wages. In fact, some of them are actually, unlike some of these businesses, usually have to take people on, but they're actually getting rid of people. Businesses that will grow. Oh, we'll sell the fish to the British. Yes, they love mackerel. They love whelks. Yeah, okay, if you're big 100, 105, maybe you do. You try to get the youngsters to eat that sort of stuff. And you've got to look at future markets. Stick it in breadcrumb or something, they wouldn't know. So, I just find it mind-numbing when I hear people talk, they're going to rejoin and what have you. The EU are not going to, or member states in the EU will say, sorry, you're not ready. They won't be rude, they won't be patronised or anything like that. They'll just basically say, you're not ready. And I happen to agree, we're not ready. But the longer we wait, the more not ready we are going to become. The more dodgy trade deals and dodgy people in government are going to make more dodgy decisions, and we will just end up being further and further away from the EU. And the longer we wait, the youngsters will think they'll just forget. Well, the European Union, remember the European, what is that? They'll go. How many people, right, knew what actually the European Union was really about at the time of the vote anyway? I mean, listen to Nigel Farage. Nobody was voting for their MEPs. That's why Nigel Farage keep getting in, being representing the United Kingdom and causing all sorts of mischief. He knew what he was doing. And they tell us it wasn't democratic, yet they didn't vote to actually. It's mind-numbing how stupid these people are. I'm just going to say it as I see it. I'm not going to pussyfoot around it. I could say, well, to be fair, I could say it down slightly more, but I might get struck off. I'll get a strike on YouTube again. I've had too many already. I mustn't get any more strikes. But it's just, I don't know. It's mind-numbing. Absolutely mind-numbing where we are at the moment. The UK's got zero growth. We're heading for a pretty serious recession. It's going to be put on the United Kingdom as well from the United States. That's why I've been making a lot of videos about what's going on in the United States. It affects us back big time. That's got that orange buffoon in the White House, you know. He's trying to change the Constitution. Remove people's right to vote. It's just nuts. It's so messed up. We've got to stand up against this stuff now. Get hold of flipping Boris Johnson, keel all the bugger, or scupper him and he gets stuck halfway. That's what, you know. Those flat things and the gunnels, the boats, you know, big ships and stuff. They're called scuppers. Anyway, keeled might be better actually across the barnacles. You know, you tie the rope to the arms and I'll do the legs, and we'll heel. Oh. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be, yeah, come on. Yeah, a little, yeah, Mrs. Piranhas, yeah, got some free piranha, occasional shark, maybe. Yeah, and then Nigel Farage as well. Oh, stick him in a flipping torpedo tube, that one. Oh, crikey, what Dan Hannon. Oh, my giddy aunt, what could I do with him? Blimey, he's in the Lords, isn't he? You get out of the Lords first. I'll tell you what, a gunpowder plot for him. Oh, well, that failed, didn't it? Maybe not. And then that pretty Patel woman, oh crikey, she's like a bit of a witch, isn't she? We put her in a duck and still. Yeah. Let's see if she comes up breathing. Anyway, you tell me, leave in the comments down below. If you're a sport channel, please do that on a Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links are down below. But also there's I think the super thanks. Oh, anyway. I could not carry on with this channel without your support. I just could not. Because me and the DMS is quite hard to keep this thing going. And we are seriously considering, well, possibility anyway, of actually putting our efforts elsewhere. We'll have to stop. We'll see. Toodaloo.